My channel covers primarily single stocks. However, I do like ETFs, and there are some scenarios where they come in mega handy. And it's when you believe in an industry, but you don't really know that much about it or don't want to spend enough time doing specific research on every individual stock. If you believe in the semiconductor industry, but don't have time or don't want to go into each individual stock, here is the ETF for you. This one is perfect. I love semiconductors. I got a degree in computer science. I'm a weird nerd like that. However, it is very clear that the future is computing, right? Do you think in 50 years there's going to be more or less computers in the world? If you answered less, I think there's some interesting assumptions you're making. But if we look at the 5-year performance, obviously you're doing phenomenal. S&P 500 performance is only about 90% over the last 5 years. We can see that this is obviously higher at 177. The 10 years is even more incredible. This is, okay, that's from 2013, the very end of 2014, right? December, 615%. That is crazy. That is well doubling the S&P 500 performance, right? So you would do great in this as well, right? And a lot of that is because there's been some huge players in this game that have just done awesome over the last 10 years, right? AMD, I'm certain it wasn't a huge percentage of the portfolio back then, right? 10 years ago, it was almost bankrupt. AMD is great. NVIDIA is great. Broadcom's been doing awesome. Qualcomm, Texas Instruments is maybe even a little bit more on the chill side there. Intel, like all of these are huge, huge things, and this is 61% of it. But I own about half of these stocks, so I can tell you that the big players. I mean, it's great diversity. If you don't want to spend all your time researching all these individual stocks, this is literally the perfect ETF, right? And even if you do own it and you just want more, if you do own some of these, maybe you own a little bit of NVIDIA, maybe you own a little bit of Micron, maybe TSM. I love TSM, right? This is even more exposure to it if you want more exposure here, right? The dividend yield isn't incredible, but it doesn't need to when it's doing as well. And yeah, are you going to get 600% in 10 years for the next decade? Who knows? Probably not. But even if it does half that, it's still doing very good. Very, very good. So with AI, if you believe in AI at all, this is just great. It's just great. Like I said, I like all these stocks. Let's look at some of the historical performances. So Morningstar rates it 237 funds, 4 stars, 4 stars, just 4 stars across the board. Historic return has been high, right? And yeah, that is true. Above average risk. It's all IT, right? I mean, clearly it's semiconductors, but 100% IT. You can expect this if there were to be a recession or a large downturn. Generally, tech trades more risky. It's just whether it's true or not. Like, in the sense that many of these industries are probably going to be doing fine. If there's a moderate, if it's a heavier, yeah, it's going to get hit hard, right? But a lot of these underlying industries are super valuable, and a lot of the huge companies, like we saw that during COVID. I mean, COVID was very weird, but a lot of those huge tech giants were doing fine, and they have enough cash reserves and all that stuff. Yeah, they'll see profits drop, but they're not going to go under unless there's a really, really weird recession, really crazy. But yes, what my point is, I'm getting a little bit in the weeds, is this will probably go down above average if there were to be a significant market downturn, just because IT or technology, those stocks are just considered more risky, even if the underlying business is going to do fine. That's just how it works. So historical risk above average. This is true. It's not like the safest play. It's not a bunch of value stocks, but I would assume most of you understand that we're getting this. Yeah, large cap. These are all mostly large companies in this fund. I don't know. I don't really care too much about all these specific ratings, right? But yeah, if you want to look at all this stuff, I don't usually look at the ETF stuff, but a lot of this is in the weeds, like option stuff. I don't really look at a whole lot of options. I'm not necessarily the channel for that. Certainly not on ETFs. I don't know who's doing options on specific. There's 3 times leveraged funds, which are really big for options and trading. However, this is not the leveraged fund of it. So yeah, if you want, like I said, I've said it a couple times now, but if you want diversification into the semiconductor industry and you don't want to do all the crazy research into it, maybe you don't understand the industry well, but you think computing is important, this is the ETF fund for you, I believe. Not investment advice, but this is probably the best one there is, right? So that's all I really got. I love the semiconductor industry. I own a lot of it, so if it underperforms, I'm gonna be right there with you. But anyways, that's all I got for this video, guys. I appreciate you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. If you like this content, I have a lot of similar videos on this channel. I cover all sorts of stocks on this channel. If you have been watching for a while, I would appreciate if you subscribed. It really does help the channel out. I've been noticing my new notice instead of likes. I notice when people subscribe, YouTube's like, oh, people like this guy. Let's throw some more recommendations out there. And actually, I get a view spike usually when I get a new subscriber. But anyways, that's all I got for this video today, guys. I'll see you later.